Hello, all of you wonderful dog lovers. Thanks for following me. I appreciate you. So, I'm making this video today. I worked with a really awesome couple, and they had these two small, sweet little dogs around puppies, around 6 months old, I believe. And um, it was a male and female. Female was um, smaller even than the male. And so I walked in the door. The female's dark uh, color, dark brownish color, and the male is a lighter tan, kind of a blonde color. I saw the female at first. She was laying on her bed, and the male was walking around. I could see the male had a lot of energy, and I could right away tell that the female had some uh, low confidence issues. And they did tell me on the phone part of the reason they were calling me in was that she was very submissive. She was submissive to the point that if even her owners tried to pick her up, she would pee. If strangers reached down to touch her, she would pee. Um, at the same time, she would also jump on people. So they sent her and the male both away for dog training. Uh, they really wanted to get the behaviors under control, and they sent them to this training facility that used e-collars right away, right off the bat. Now, I've done this professionally for 35 years. I'm not saying that e-collars are bad. So I'm not saying that. But when a trainer's go-to right off the jump is using an e-collar, in my opinion, e-collars are a last resort, not a go-to. A trainer should have enough tools in their box, mental tools, to be able to train a dog to sit, stay, down, heel, here. Those 5 basic commands. What was even crazier is I believe they actually put 2 e-collars on the female because she was stubborn. That girl's not stubborn. She had very low confidence. And after that training, her confidence was even lower. Now, when I test a dog's confidence, to the point that she seemed even fearful to me. And when I check a dog's confidence, one of the things I'll do is I'll see what is bigger, their confidence or their nose. So some dogs can have low confidence. They're still going to take a treat from me. The dogs that won't take a treat, now some aren't treat motivated. Most dogs are. So when a dog won't take a treat, though, that is showing fear, I know that confidence is really low. Now, for me, when I'm working with a dog that has low confidence versus a high energy dog, my entire approach is to build that dog's confidence. And just one of the things I do to build the dog's confidence is how I walk them, how I get the owners to walk them, you know, and there's other things I do, but I just going to go, it's how I walk them. And So while we're out on the walk, we're talking a little bit more because I'm the one that's originally walking her. I have her walking right with me. I didn't use a heel technique. I just have a technique I use that gets a dog to walk with me without using muscle to hold him there. I don't try to out muscle a dog. So I want a dog to use their brain. And so I'm talking to him more about this whole e-collar thing. And I'm like, so what would be the purpose of using an e-collar to get a dog to walk with you? And they're like, well, if she, you know, starts to walk, kind of away from us, we would use it then. And I'm like, I'm going to tell you right now, if I'm walking with you and you're poking me just because I move over a little bit, that's going to make me want to move away further from you, not come closer to you. So, in the 35 plus years I've done this, I've used an e-collar maybe five, maybe a few more times, uh, 5 to 7 times. I know it's been very few, and the only time I have ever used an e-collar on a dog, and it's always been for the same command, um, and that is the here command. And it's a command I train extremely hard on. Like I work really hard on that command, really fair on that command. I spend a long time on it because I want to know that when I'm teaching a dog here, that I'm being very fair. I want that dog to want to come to me when I call them, and I want them to come quick. So, in the several times that I did use them, it was because I was working with a dog that, even though I had trained weeks on here, even though some dogs they'll get it within 3 days, but to me, I want to know that, because I'll train on one command for a whole week. If I'm working on sit, I can get a dog to sit in one day. That doesn't mean trained. That means the dog will sit and they'll understand sit in one day. Understanding and trained aren't exactly the same thing. So that is the only time that I will use an e-collar. And it's the only time that I have. 99% of the time, they're never needed. They're just not. So, I'm not saying that all trainers that use an e-collar are bad trainers. So I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if you have a puppy, a dog, especially a puppy, and you're looking for dog training, the 5 basics, not behavior: sit, stay, down, heel, here. Ask that trainer, what are their techniques? What techniques do they use? What equipment do they use? And if their go-to is an e-collar, do your dog a favor and find another trainer. So now me, I haven't done sit, stay, downhill here, except for with my own dog. I haven't done that in 27 years. I focus strictly on manners and behavior. That's what I do. Uh, so, and I am telling you once again, I'm going to repeat this. I would never, ever put an e-collar on a fearful dog, not even one collar, let alone two e-collars, and tell the owners that I'm putting an e-collar on because the dog is stubborn. Now, I'm not saying there aren't stubborn dogs, but for the most part, even with a stubborn dog, you figure out a, a different technique. So you don't just go with one technique. So, and I know this will make this video a little bit longer, but let's talk about the difference of dog training versus manners and behavior modification. If you're looking for a dog trainer, like you're looking for, I want people to understand the difference because I get this all the time. They'll say, so my dog jumps on us a lot, or um, the dog tears things up, so we're looking for dog training. No, 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 no. You're looking for behavior modification and manners. Dog training is the 5 basics: sit, stay, down, heel, here. Most trainers use come, perfectly fine. I use here for a reason. So teaching a dog those 5 basics will make a dog well skilled at those 5 basics. At sit and stay. Well skilled does not mean well mannered. That's the same as telling a parent that if I teach your child reading, writing, arithmetic, your child's going to be so well mannered. No, I've met I, I've met a lot of dogs that are very well skilled and have a lot of bad behaviors and manners. So I have there's similarities in all my cases. Of course there is. You know, jumping, being destructive, counter surfing, and I that's counter surfing. That one's kind of interesting. I've had so many people tell me, trainers have told them, you can't teach a dog not to counter surf. You have to compromise and keep your counters clean. Really? I've been doing it for years with a lot of dogs. I teach dogs not to pick up food off the floor. I don't want a dog eating something that has the potential to harm them. And telling someone you can't teach a dog not to take food is no different than telling someone you can't teach a dog not to eat their remote. Uh, why? Because it has smell? So I do balance work, and I do take into consideration, even though there are similarities, I take into consideration that dog's personality versus the last dog's personality I worked with, the owner's personality versus the last owner I worked with, and how are the owners of their dogs, how are they communicating to them? Is it in a way that the dog understands, or only the owner understands? So, and we have to be clear to our dogs what we like and what we don't. There's absolutely nothing wrong with correcting a dog's bad behavior as long as you're not angry, frustrated. There's never a reason to yell. It should not physically or psychologically harm them, and it should be fair. Even dogs understand that. In a home that has multiple dogs, there's usually that one dog the other dogs don't mess with. And not because it's attacked them. I deal with a lot of multiple dogs in one home where one dog is attacking the other dogs. That is horrific. But there is a dog in the home that will correct another dog. I've seen that a million times. And my thing that I always say to trainers I talk with is, if a dog can reasonably correct another dog, then why can't a human? So, also, too, if you have been through dog training and you're like, it didn't work, don't think that there's something wrong with your dog and your dog can't be trained. If you have sent your dog off because it had behavior issues, and the trainers worked on the five basics. Um, Maybe tried to work on the issues. Like with my last client's dog, she was already submissive peeing before they sent her away. She was worse when they got her back. I understood exactly why. There's help, uh, especially if you're in my area. You just got to remember The Educated Dog with Aaron Stewart. Reach out to me. It's always worth a conversation. Of I can talk with you, and you can go, hey, I think this guy can help me, and we can go from there. So anyway, I don't want to just keep rambling on. When I sit down to do these, I don't do them ahead of time. I don't write things down. I just start talking. So anyway, I hope this helped, and I hope everyone has a wonderful Christmas and a happy New Year. And until next time, again, I'm Aaron Stewart, owner of The Educated Dog, saying goodbye.